It's The Journey. And here's your host, David Hackett.
Another journey, and this journey is in collaboration with another podcast. This podcast is called The Circle of Life. Now, I got a little bio about our guest. Well, we're both guests on each other's podcast because it's going to be distributed on both podcasts. But on my side, I'm David Hackett. I'm basically the host of The Journey. And on the other side is, and I'll let her introduce herself. You are?
Good evening, everyone. This is Deepi, and I'm with Mr. Hackett today on the podcast of The Circle of Life and The Journey podcast host with David, who is one of my best friend and my mentor.
Thank you. So we go into your journey and you can ask me questions as we go, but your journey is that you got a bachelor's degree in art and law, and you are, and excuse me if I pronounce these words wrong, Paladin of Performing Arts. You're a Sangeet Visharad in Kathak dance and Sangeet Bhushan in vocal classical from Pracheen Kala Kendra, and I don't know that last name, but at a very early age, you performed in Calcutta Doordarshan Kendra, and from there onwards, but never-ending journey in performing arts started. So, as we get to know each other, tell us about your earliest memories of Calcutta.
My earliest memory about Calcutta is beautiful because I born and brought up there. My study, my dancing classes, my education, my family is everything there. Means I belong to there.
So your art remains within India, even though now you're living across the water, as the saying goes.
Exactly.
That's good because everyone's got their own, unique perspectives. Like I'm British, but being away from Britain doesn't mean I miss Britain. It just means I moved on from being in Britain.
Exactly.
So it goes on to say that your never-ending journey in performing arts started. Now, performing arts, for anyone who doesn't understand that, could mean drama, dance, performing in front of people. In your context, it was, I assume, from what it said, dance, I would assume, and vocal singing.
Absolutely. Performing arts is, it's a form of creativity. As you said, David, that we generally performed in front of audience, and it can be anything. It can be drama, it can be music, and it can be dance.
Because I did performing arts when I was in school, and it was one of my better subjects. So, and let's just say every other subject I was pretty lousy at, and drama was my per se way of me letting myself. You've heard the song from Frozen, Let It Go. It's my way of letting it go every end of the week because I enjoy doing drama.
So you do like performing arts too?
Yes, I do.
That's a good, which means definitely singing or music, or which
Acting.
Which part? Acting. Okay, we should start an acting school then.
You could. But because everyone, I believe, and even when you're young, your journey's beginning. When you do performing arts, it's your way of performing to elaborate your true being and allows people to see you for you.
Exactly. That is all performing arts about. Means even when you're dancing and you're in the stage and all the lights are off and you are standing in front of that maybe thousands of audience in there, and you are standing and you're about to start, it's like take everyone breaths away while you're performing.
It's like my friend last year sent me a video of me, and it was not me doing performing arts in any way. It was just me doing a speech at the end of a drama play that the school performed for the old school. And I just had this unique speech, and I think this is why one reason why I do like talking about things in general. But it was me just saying thank you to the teachers, thank you for making the play it is. But from that outset and just seeing that video back when I first received it, it's like, was I really like that? And it goes on to me progressing. Yes, I've had my downs. It's not been easy. I've had loads of unfortunate things that have gone my way that didn't go right. But I found a niche in being on the radio because I was talking to people. So when I became part of a radio station in England, it was because I felt comfortable. I didn't know who they were. They didn't know who I was. Some of them did, maybe, but I publicized it. But it was me talking like I am talking now on this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reaching out to people and making them realize that you don't have to know the person. You just reach out by talking to them.
Absolutely. And you are a wonderful person, David, because the way the first day, the way you keep on teaching me how to create a podcast with the logos and everything, that was amazing. And I'm so thankful to you, David, always.
So you could ask me questions because I don't want to read all your bio in one go, but
You can tell us, we all love to hear about your journey of your life.
my journey of my life, where do you want me to start?
Anywhere you like.
Okay. The earliest memories I will remember is always being with my grandparents. For the first 4 years of my life, it was me and my late nan, my late grandfather. My mum, I saw her at weekend, and it was a happy, content time because I'm not saying I was not loved by my mum because if she listens to this, she will only condone me more, but there was love there, but she had to stand her own 2 feet. She had to learn to be a parent. She was young when she had me.
Mm-hmm.
And the scary realization is that I might not have gone back to her. I would have stayed with my grandparents, but I had to go back to her.
Yes.
And then just growing up over the years, it was me seeing my grandparents every summer, like every child sees their grandparents every holiday, vacation, whatever you want to call it. And that was my time. I felt, in a sense, honored to be part of their life still, even if they were like 300, 400 miles away from me. And, growing up with my mum, it was difficult. I'm not saying it was easy. It was difficult. It got more difficult as I got older because obviously I became a teenager. In that time, teenagers, you know what, you was a teenager yourself. Everyone's either a troublemaker or a blessing. But I was one of those troublemakers. And it wasn't fair on my mum, but she had to do it by herself because she was a single parent. So that's me in a nutshell in my childhood.
Thank you for letting us know. But and you're just not a wonderful person. You're a wonderful child too. I believe that. And the sweetest one.
I always say I'm just me because, when I interview people, it's always the fact that I like to say, yeah, I'm me, but I learned from being me and I don't want to change being me.
Absolutely. Because you're right, David. I also believe that because everything starts with me. Everything. Emotions, feelings, everything starts with me. And
Mm.
if we can be ourselves, that's the best thing we can do.
Yeah.
Because we don't need to follow anyone, or we don't need to be anyone else. We are happy with ourselves. And we like to remain that. Be yourself, and the rest will follow. That's it.
Yeah. Agreed. Totally. And like you know yourself, you've moved from India, Calcutta, to be where you are now.
Yes.
That was a big step for you. Did you expect to do it?
Absolutely.
Did you expect to do it when you was younger?
Never. I
So,
was always, just dreaming about want to be a dancer or want to be an actress, um, and happy with my own family. And that's how my life was working and studying and everything. And then I'm here.
and you're happy with how life is for you now because you've settled, you got a family of your own, and you're making and this is where I always get confused with words. Your roots are fixed where you are now. You don't want to. I know you love India. You want to go back there. That's good ambition. But your roots are now where you are, and you feel rooted. You don't want to move away from that.
Exactly. Yeah. Actually, Kolkata is my birthplace, and this place is my son's birthplace. So, yes, this is my home. This is now my first home.
Mm. And you see in the news, I'm not seeing much about India or Calcutta or anything, but you see how countries struggle. And it's a blessing for people to say, I'm out of it. But at the same time, you feel drawn to it because it's still your own country.
Yes, definitely. Because each and every country has their own beauty
Mm.
and their own way of struggles. And we need to understand and we need to adjust with that because life is like that. Life is sometimes, very hard and sometimes very easy.
Mm.
And we need to balance that. And if we can balance that and we learn how to balance, we are good.
Yeah, I agree with that. So, it goes into saying about your dynamic in Hindi and Bengali theatres into face modelling and ramp shows. You started your own dance school, Steps, where you taught various dance forms to juniors to seniors.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's an interesting concept because juniors are easier to teach per se than seniors, unless you get the seniors actually trying their best and you you do it and you try and get them into the rhythm. But the juniors will grasp it quickly, but the seniors will I try, I try, I try.
Yes, absolutely. The main thing is seniors loves to dance and juniors also just start any music and let them groove,
Mm.
let them dance, let them feel the music, let them intake the music and allow them just to fly away or move with that music.
Yeah.
Even for the seniors also, um, sometimes they like to dance in Garba song or sometimes in hit Bollywood song. So they're all good. Just they need to, just you need to let them know that you're all good. Just keep it up. And they will take it from there. Because seniors sometimes can feel that dancing, I cannot do it. But David, trust me, everybody can dance. And everybody needs to dance. And everybody has to dance. And almost, if we think we are dancing every time, while cooking, we are dancing, while cleaning, we are dancing, while washing, we are dancing. There is in your every work, there is a movement. But the movements are different. But there is a rhythm. Sometimes when you're cooking, the way you're moving the ladle, there is a movement. There is a rhythm you're doing it. When you're washing, there is a rhythm. And the music is water. And the movement, the way you're washing. So I think every part and every movement is an art. And if we can mix all the movements together, it becomes a dance. And for the seniors, they used to love, because I generally ask them to practice simple movements, just practice. And then just start the music, and with the music, now put the movements. And then at the end, you will see it's a beautiful composition. Maybe the junior one or the senior one, the compositions are beautiful. Maybe they are not coordinating or it's not synchronizing, but when they're on the stage, when they're performing, it's beautiful.
Yeah, and it's just like you said, the music does capture the imagination, because when you do listen to the music, or if you just see someone dance, you've got the imagination going, because you haven't got like a background like ear, or in your situation, you've got a blurred background. It's about visualizing what you want it to be interpreted as.
Exactly. Even in the drama also, when you're performing somebody else. In that very moment, you are expressing someone else in that stage. Generally in a theater, you have to represent someone else. So you have to be very much, how should I say that? You need to be very thorough with the character which you're playing. And you need to be well researched about the character which you are playing from starting till ending. So I think drama is also an interesting part of our life. Even generally in our in life also, I think that our life is like a stage, and we are all acting here. Sometimes happy, sometimes very happy, and sometimes okay, fine. And we are doing it every day.
It's
So
like
it's
like you were saying, about performing. You adapt to that character, you research them. I remember my first live performance I did. I was 15. And that was just played local. It was not made local, so I couldn't keep my voice, but I had to act as a 6-year-old boy. I was 15 playing a 6-year-old boy. But the thing was, I had to adapt to be that 6-year-old boy. I had to adapt to not being the voice I was. I had to adapt my voice to being in England, and they call it, when you go up beyond a certain point, I had to be a northern boy with a accent that was not my true accent. And it worked, because I researched it, because there was something I watched often on TV. So I used the knowledge of watching that TV show just to adapt to being that voice. Now I can still do that voice, like, "Hi, man," I could do it, but as I'm older, it doesn't sound right. But when I was younger, it was funnier because I made it, even though he was a serious character, I made him sound funny because I didn't want him to be too serious. The character was a loner, he was a little boy of 6 years old who lived down, and I always played down at Ginnell's being like an alleyway. So I had to adapt my voice to talk like that, and it was fun. I enjoyed it. So, and performing in front of those people, yes, they saw David this, they saw David acting, they saw David doing the voice, but they just used their imagination. They saw what they saw.
Exactly.
And they used their imagination and they said, "Oh, David playing that 6-year-old boy. He comes from," and I think the area I was talking about was the area in England known as Manchester. And Manchester, you talk like a Manc like that, and I can still do the adult voice because I can get away with it, but you had to adapt your voice to sound like a Manc, because if I talk like I talk now, it doesn't sound right. So adaptation.
It's very important. So don't you think it's fun? It's acting, or it's fun, right?
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's your way of being yourself without being yourself. It's your way of releasing that tension. It's releasing yourself from the problems that you've got. Say if you've got problems at home, you go and you act. You think, "Oh, I'm not worried." You do worry still, but when you're young, "Oh, I'm not at home now. I'm not getting into trouble. I'm being myself. I'm being this wacky kid of 6 years old," or another play I did. I was a cat. I was in a plane crash and I had to act like I was dying. So you had to act. It was a way of being your true self, but letting yourself be the alternative side.
Absolutely. And especially when with that means like dance, or when you are performing on stage, theater, or singing, that light touch of makeup, that dress, means everything creates that ambience for you. Then the lights on and everywhere is just quiet, and your performance is started. It's like a thrilling experience when people are watching you, and they are listening to you. You are helping them to imagine.
Yeah.
And that is it's just a wonderful experience.
Now, when I did the radio in the last few years before I left there, in the last 6 months properly, there's a feature on the show I was out producing, and there was a feature where they used to read out a cat and dog that needed rehoming. Now, to give that presenter a break, I went in and said, let me be your... Even if I was the producer of the show, I was making sure that something was different. So I said, "I'll come in and I'll just do something different." And she said, "Okay." She didn't know anything because I didn't give her a script or anything. She gave me the script of the cat or dog, but I made that cat and dog unique by giving that cat and dog a voice. So it was, I'm Terry the Terrier, and I got dogs like this, and I need a rehome because I'm a puppy dog, or... I made it personal, but it was my experience from acting in school that made it funny. So when listeners text in, they were like, "We love how you're cat dog are being rehomed. Who is it? And she's like, it's my producer David has been David.
Isn't it beautiful experience, David?
Mm.
You means. So are you planning to do more acting?
Acting's a good medium. Like I said, it's just, you know, you want to act now, you go to a bigger place.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just go to a little town or a little area and say, I want to be an actor. You got to go to the places that do need it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not easy.
Yeah, you're right. Even yes, you're right. It's not easy. Learning or performing or uh, presenting it's always need a practice and also a kind of, I think, you need some connections to start with or something like that.
Mm. So,
Though I have no idea, it's just from my perspective what I'm saying. But if you love acting, you should go for it, because you can change your voice also.
it's easily done. You just go like this and you could.
See, that's beautiful. We should try some of the scripts, and it will be a different, like, acting podcast.
Mm. So it goes
Yes.
into your bio. It says you've also practiced mindfulness and actively involved in Save the Nature project. I assume that's a project close to where you are. And you love to tell stories through your unique choreography. You have your own podcast, Creativity in Art and Wellness, which is what the Circle of Life is about. You capitalize art delightfully and in a graceful manner, having excellent acumen in motion pictures for many years. Your artful journey, which began 30 years back, is still on. That is amazing to know, because the journey of you is still learning. The journey of you still wants to learn. The journey of you still wants to build those bridges and make those little branches of that tree grow more.
Exactly. You're absolutely right, David. That's exactly what you said. The journey begins, and I want to continue this journey, and as long as I can. And it's a beautiful journey.
Okay. So is there anything else you want to add before we stop recording?
I just, yes, definitely. I would like to say before ending, thank you, David. Thank you very much for helping me throughout the journey of the circle of life by everything. And you are a wonderful friend. And as I said before, we wish we all had a friend like you.
Thank you.
You're always welcome.